Virtual meeting. So I call this meeting to order, and to establish a quorum, we do have the GRF people present here, but at this time we will not be voting on anything. So the next item on the agenda is I need a motion to appoint Catherine Lester as the Inspector of Elections.
I make a motion. This is Cash.
Okay, make a motion.
I made a motion to appoint Catherine Lester as the Inspector of Elections.
Do I have a second?
I'll second. Doug.
Okay. Are there any objections? If there are no objections, then the appointment of Catherine Lester has passed. So the next item is I need a motion for the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Okay,
I'll second the motion. I have an amendment.
Okay, what's the amendment?
I would like to remove, tell me if I'm wrong, Ming Li Chang under terms ending in 2020. Was that correct information that I had?
Yes.
To remove Ming Li Chang.
He announced the withdrawal.
Okay, so that's a change in the agenda. Any other removals? Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Amended.
All right. So do I have all those in favor of the approved agenda? So, okay. I'm going to assume consensus on that. So the amended agenda passes. So the next item is introduction of candidates. We had talked about that just before this meeting, and I'm going to turn that over to Judith so she can introduce the candidates and give instructions along, how we're going to proceed, because she's going to be the monitor to be able to ask all the questions. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Judith.
Okay, thank you. I'm Judith Troutman, Secretary of the GRF Board. And the first thing I want to do is a roll call. So I'm going to call your name as they are listed on the agenda, and because they took the names off the screen. So if you're here, speak up, turn your mic on, and this will be a good chance for me to test your microphone. Turn your mic on and say you're here and repeat your name so I can mark you off as being here. The first one, Joseph Becker.
Joseph Becker here.
Thank you. Jeffrey Carter. There's no, okay, I see you back there. Can you turn your mic on? Can you test your mic? Because you're going to need that during this questionnaires. Do you know how to turn it on? There's a... Could Grant turn it on at his end by any chance? Okay, he probably has to go into settings. If you go into your wheel, there's a wheel at the top of the screen. You might have to turn it on that way. I'm going to move on because if anyone cannot participate in the questions, then I'll remove you from the list because you're not going to be able to answer. So I'll come back to Jeffrey. Joan Milliman?
Present.
Present. Thank you. Sue Stevens?
Sue Stevens here.
Present. Thank you. Johanne Aaron? I saw her earlier. Johanne Aaron? Am I saying it wrong? I thought it was Johanne. They were speaking. Did they leave?
Can you hear me?
Okay,
Johanne
now we can. Now we
Johanne
can.
Present.
Okay, thank you.
May I request something, Judy?
Yes.
let them have their video on when they talk, so we know who they are.
Okay, so when you are answering a question, it's been requested that you use your video plus your microphone. So I'll repeat that again when we get to the instructions. Okay, Harold Midens, is he here? I didn't see.
Harold Music,
Is there someone here?
right here.
Okay, there you are. Thank you, Harold. Okay, okay, then Don.
Can you hear?
Idea?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you. Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
John Pearlstone, I see you.
You hear me also?
Yes, thank you. We can. Lenny Ross,
I'm here.
thank you. See you. James Wang. James, are you here?
Yeah.
Where are you?
You see me?
Not yet. I see your box and your microphone screen, but I don't see your camera yet.
Mm-hmm.
Know where to hit your camera?
Yeah.
There you
Okay. It's on now. Okay.
So
Good.
when you're speaking, you'll have to do both. Thank you, James. Timothy Aries.
This is Tim Ayers. I'm here.
Okay, Tim Ayers. Okay, thank you. Kush. Spada.
I'm right here.
Okay, thank
You
you.
hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay.
Then Juan Chang.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here. Okay, is your mic? Okay, are you a caller? I don't see your photo.
Yeah. Well, I'm listening to. I mean, using the cell phone to.
Okay.
My
So we
test.
don't want
Okay.
to- okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Exception. Okay. You can still participate. We just won't be able to see your face. Okay. Thank you, Juan.
Yeah.
Alan Dickinson. Are you here? Don't see anyone? No Alan Dickinson? Okay. And James Hopkins. You here?
I'm here.
You here? I can hear you and I can see you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now that we have everyone established, here's who's present, and I already said good morning, and it's been a while since we have had this many candidates running at the same time. Therefore, we only have time for 3 to 4 questions for each candidate. Some questions will require a 1-minute answer. Others will require a 2-minute answer. You will be told prior to each question how long you have to answer that particular question and who has been selected to answer that particular question. At the 60-second mark, I'll hold up this red flag. Can everybody see it? And that'll be a sign that you have.
No,
No, it's like
I can't see everybody anyway, so.
okay. Then you'll be at a disadvantage. So this will help those who can see it. But then at the when the time is ended, I'm going to have a chime
Okay.
go off, and it's going to sound like this.
Oh,
Can everybody
okay.
hear that? That means your
Yes.
time is up, and it's hopefully a polite, gentle way to say you can't speak anymore. You're done. So,
Excuse me, Judy, one question. I thought we were going to go back to Johan Aron. Is he there? Is he not there?
yeah, Johan Aaron,
Yes.
he showed up. Yeah, he's here. I see his picture. Yeah, he's here. Okay, so and that's one thing we have to do. The only people that will be speaking is no directors that are just called in to watch this process. Only speak if you've been asked to answer a question. We don't talk over anyone else, and we don't have time for other directors and people in the audience to chime in and speak or ask their own questions. This has all been organized, and we're asking for everybody's participation and to follow the rules. This is following the rules, and somebody's got their microphone on. You're going to have to turn it off. Everyone needs to turn their green mics off because we're getting background noise. And it's very annoying to everyone else. Yeah, Doug, you too. And then
A quick question.
last question.
Is it possible to answer or ask a blanket question of all the candidates and get a quick yes or no on it?
No, only if there's time at the end. If I'm done with all my 13 questions, if there's time, then I have it on my list to go, and you put in the chat box that you have a blanket question for everyone. But we'll only do that if there's time. These
And you are asking all the questions, is that right?
I'm asking the questions that have been prearranged by the GRF board.
All right, thank you.
So that'll be, I'm sorry, Manny, your last interruption. Okay, so individuals were selected at random for each question. So we'll begin with the first question. Everyone will get 1 minute for this first question. And then don't forget to look at the red flag or the chimes at your 30 seconds and 0 time. And I'm getting some back. I don't know why I'm getting some back. There's someone with WC has their sound on. They're going to have to turn it off. Dr. Wayne Chang, maybe. Okay. First question. This would be for 4 people. Every person, every single one, and I'll call your name when it's time. Introduce yourself and give your a little bit about your background. Not everything that you already put in your candidate statements. We already have that. Tell us what we need to know about you that we don't already know. And I'm going to start at the top with Joseph Becker. Your 1 minute has started.
Hello. I recently moved here about March of last year, so I've been here for 15 months. About 20 years ago, I was the treasurer of a small homeowners association. I'm not sure what I didn't put on my statement to you, so let me just say I run a small business. I'm a adjunct professor at UC Irvine in physics. I'd like to represent everybody in the community. I'm not a member. I am a member of a number of clubs, but I'm not an officer of any club. I'm not running with any agenda to promote or anything, any of the particular clubs. I just like to provide maybe some business traditional sense to the way we are doing things here. That's it.
Okay, thank you. No, start over. Okay. Next, the same question, Jeffrey Carter. Jeffrey Carter.
Hi, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah, I've been here a little bit longer than the previous person. I've been here since January of last year. I'm a member of the golf men's club here. Basically, I'm also a small business owner. If you can't tell, I play Santa during the Santa season, during Christmas season. And I'm a father, husband, great-grandfather. And I have my family has a long history here. I've lived in Lake Forest for close to 50 years. I'm very familiar with the community. My wife is a third-generation owner here. And, I have a lot of ideas that I think that I see our resales are slow right now. And going through the escrow process, I thought that there were some areas that could help improve the process so that it's not quite as long as it is. And,
that was your chime.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Cancel. Okay, I can't even get it to stop. Okay. Next is going to be, and don't forget, you can tell us something you think we don't already know about you. Next is Joan Milliman. Are you there? I can't quite hear you. I'm going to start your timer over.
Okay. There it is. Thanks.
Okay, there we go.
I'm here, but you can't see me.
That's
Hi,
okay.
I'm Joan Milliman. I've been here for 12 years, and I was on the GRF board for 5. And I was chair of the Media and Communications Committee. During that time, we improved the communications immensely because we went to self-management, and that. So I was in on the beginning of the newness. I'm very proud that the breeze now that you receive every other month was just starting when I came on, and under my jurisdiction, if you were, we've now developed into a full magazine. Shopping. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Okay. Okay. The next person will be Sue Stevens. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Sue Stevens. I bought a unit in the Towers in January 2018. I really love Laguna Woods. I've served on the Village Energy Task Force and also on the Disaster Preparedness Task Force. In 2014, I was formally trained by the Nevada Highway Patrol in what's called the U.S. Incident Command System, ICS. ICS is the foundation for the Village's emergency response plan. Like everyone in the Village, I'm interested in controlling costs while also preserving and improving our lifestyle. Most of my career, I worked as a manager and as an auditor. I spent many years finding ways to improve the effectiveness and the efficiency of organizations and operations. That function is called operational auditing, and it was also the subject of my master's thesis. I'm complete. I'm done. Thank you.
Okay. I just don't know how to get this thing to stop. Okay. Okay, that's going to have to change. Okay, I just might do that part myself. Okay. Next we have Johan Aaron. Same question. An introduction and tell us what we don't know about you.
Got to turn on your mic.
Yeah.
He hasn't turned on his mic.
Okay, Aaron, can you turn on your mic? Or Joan?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Now we can. Yeah, I'll start your timer over. Go ahead.
Good morning, esteemed President and members of the board. I hope that everyone is doing well and safe. As you stated, my name is Johan Aaron. I live at 648 Manor A, and I'm new, very new, just coming in December, to the village, Laguna Woods Village, and I was really excited about the opportunities that you all have and how beautiful the grounds are and how wonderful people have accepted me and my beautiful wife to the community. As a new resident to the community, and because of my past experience, 46 years as an educator and president of Walnut Valley Educator Association, I think joining the board would be an asset for you and me because of my previous experience in dealing with the residents and community members. I look forward to exciting ideas, new exciting ideas, and bringing various opportunities to the village. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we have Harold Meiden. You were here earlier? Harold?
Morning. Yeah.
Morning.
This is Harold Midense. I've been here for 10 years, and the reason that I would like to join you guys is there's a lot of things that are greatly done, and there's some things that need some fixing, put it that way. I've been involved all my life with organizations and being a team member, trying to get things done the proper way. It's very hard for me to blow my own horn. I'm not accustomed to that. So the reason I would like to join you is to learn more and see what my experience can help in doing it. I like to do things. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next is Gan Mukhopadhyay. Gan?
Yes.
Okay.
Retired civil engineer. And I'm a fellow and life member of the American Society of Civil Engineers. I have worked in United States and several countries around the world for 50 years. Previously, I have served as a board member for 3 organizations: American Society of Civil Engineers, Los Angeles section, Harvard Association of Industry and Commerce at the Port of Los Angeles, and Leighton and Associates in Irvine, California. I'm quite familiar with the Robert's Rules of Order. As a member, I believe I can assist the GRA board on engineering and management issues. In my view, the GRF governance can be more effective if it includes a stronger and proactive outreach program to get the residents involved on key issues and capital improvement projects. For this election, I would prefer to hold one of the 2 terms concluding in 2021.
Okay,
The decision is yours.
You'll have to add that in another question because that first minute of introduction is over. But you can continue that. There's another question that involves what you're talking about that you can expand on. Okay, thank you. John Pearlstone, you're next for just a quick introduction and what we don't know about you.
All right, good morning, everybody. I'm John Pearlstone. I am a CPA, used to work with KPMG, one of the largest accounting firms in the country. Serial entrepreneur, that's a little bit about the background. Some things that I would want you to know about, maybe you might not know, is I spent the first 10 years in my own business doing nothing but negotiating significant insurance contracts. That was my employee benefit consulting firm. It was my primary obligation to design the insurance programs as well as how they would be communicated to the employees. So I have a lot of experience and very relevant things for community. I've also done general contract work on a 5,000 square foot property from ground to completion. I know a lot about permits, contracts, real estate, and real estate law. I worked with a lot of attorneys. Spent my entire career negotiating. And finally, I'm an active high school coach and have worked on a lot of things involving teaching, education, and communication. So a little bit about my background.
Right on time. Thank you, John. Okay, next we have Lenny Ross.
Good morning. My name is Lenny Ross, and I've resided in Laguna Woods for 6 years. My experience of having served as president and treasurer of United Board, along with my corporate finance, sales, and marketing background, will help me work with others on the GRF board to control the costs of living in Laguna Woods. Through the course of my career, I've been tasked with team development of new programs where I was responsible, along with the other team members, to develop and launch new products from development to sales. This program management experience will help me work with other GRF and VMS members to develop high-quality, new cost-effective programs that are in high demand by our Laguna Woods members. Additionally, my corporate experience with budgeting and negotiating contracts will help me make sure our residents' expenditures by GRF are being monitored and we are well under control. Thank you.
Thank you. Right on time. Thank you. Okay. Next, we'll go to the 2022. Is Timothy Aries?
Hi, my name's Tim Ayers. I've been in Laguna Woods for about 3 years. My background is engineering. I worked in operations, maintenance, and engineering. I've been involved a lot in project work, where we take projects from concept to engineering to the construction and to the startup. I've been all over the country. I've probably moved 8 or 9 different times cross country with jobs related to engineering. I think I have a very varied background. I can bring a lot of ideas and realistic solutions. And we've been in Laguna Woods, like I said, for 3 years. We love it, and I'm just looking forward to maintaining it and hopefully improving it.
Thank you, Timothy. Next, we have Kush Bada.
Oh, do we miss Jim Wong?
You missed Jim Wong.
James Wayne. Oh, after Lenny. I'm sorry. James?
All right. So my name is Jim Wayne.
We come back.
First of all, I want to congratulate all the board members for all the hard work you have done to manage the pandemic. I'm very impressed. You have done a wonderful job. So I'm still seeing the COVID clinic a couple of days per week. I manage all those patients on the phone and not face-to-face. So with my background in hospital operations, I think I can help you to manage the level of concern you should have. So hopefully you can sleep better. And lately I heard the conflict between the mutual board and GIF. There's a step in. Maybe I can help you to manage it a little bit, disagreement. I grew up 30 years in nonprofit corporations. It's a good practice, not a solo practice. So I'm very familiar to what happens inside a nonprofit. All the revenue we generate, give it to next year, low down the premium. Okay, thanks, bye.
Thank you. Okay, so now we did Timothy already. And now we go to Kush Bada.
Thank you, Judith. My name is Kush Bada. I'm originally from India, and I've been in America for the last 30 plus years, stopped counting after 30. My background is in hospitality. I worked in hotels and restaurants and different organizations, from a 500-bed hospital to serve a minister in a foreign country. I have done many different things, been in operations most of my life, and I think my experience and background can serve our community very well because it's like a big resort. And my main emphasis is to create more income sources and to control our costs. And I will work with all my different board directors to achieve our goals of a good place to live and enjoy ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Kush. Okay, our next candidate is Juan Chang.
Juan Chang. I lived here 16 years. During my 16 years, I find many decisions about the community affairs are not data-proven decisions. I am a trained social scientist. I think I would like to create more data for the entire community. I did the survey for Third Mutual, where I found the shocking finding was average income of Third Mutual was only $36,800. We are not rich community. So I like to see create the data for the community know what our community really look like, or what community is based upon. So all I wanted to do is have create a great data for the community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, James Hopkins, you're the last one for this question.
I'm here.
Go ahead. The introduction and tell us something we don't know about you.
Okay, I'm Jim Hopkins. Pretty extensive career, even though I was trained in accounting and finance, as CFO of several companies, small to medium-sized companies. The CFO usually gets the job of fixing things that went wrong. So I've actually managed construction projects, failed profit centers. My most exciting assignment practically was actually working with the church through the 2009 through 2013 area, where we had to get them out of a very, very tough situation. I worked with construction projects. I worked as a consultant. I've installed or been part of the installation of ERPs, etc. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next question.
You missed Alan Dickinson.
I called his name and he did not reply. Did he check in late? He was not on the list of being here. He's not here. Did he show up late? Because it's too late. So can we not have any more interruptions? Please? Okay. Alan Dickinson is not here, so I will not be calling on him. Okay, let's go back to the next question. You have 1 minute. I have 4 people selected for this question. If you are elected to the GRF board, what would your priorities be? And the people that will be speaking to this will be Joseph Becker, Jeffrey Carter, Harold Midance, and I had one other. Oh, okay, Alan Dickinson, who's not here. So, okay, so those 3. So start with Joseph Becker. I'll repeat the question real quick. If you are elected to the GRF board, what would be your priorities?
I think my first priority would be to, in some way, help educate the community. Most of the people that I run across here in the village some believe all of the $600 a month dues that we spend go to maintenance. Others think it all goes to activities. I think I'd like to educate people that about $300 a month goes to what I would call the country club and amenities, paying for the swimming pool, the golf course, and all that. And then I'd sort of like, in some way, maybe just have people mail in. Maybe we could mail out a survey. Just ask people, of your $300, how would you like to have it spent? Where would you like to see the money go? Maybe a lot of people think we should spend a lot of money on golf. Maybe they don't. I think at this point in time, it's a lot of conflict I see in my short time here. People arguing about why we pay $20 to go to a dance and all that kind of thing. I think people do not understand how much it costs to pay for all those facilities. I'd like people to have an understanding that all that stuff does cost money, and we have to make a choice about how we're going to spend whatever money we have available.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you so much. Okay, the next person for that question is Jeffrey Carter.
Hi. Yeah, I guess one of my concerns are, I think we're a hidden gem here in South Orange County. Most people don't know about us, or they have preconceived ideas or notions. And I think one of the things that I'd like to focus on is streamlining the process to get people approved to move in. I think that the sales are slow, and I think that there's some things that we can do. I think we need to get the message out of how great this village is, and being younger than the average age here. I think that we need to explain to people how enjoyable it can be. Because my kids, they love it here. They think it's wonderful. The safety of it, the quiet, and I think some of the processes that we have for approving people to come in may be too cumbersome. And I think the length of time it takes to get somebody approved during the escrow process is far too long. And I think when I remodeled my unit, there was not much communication between the remodel here, the HOA, and then the city. I think there needs to be more communication to speed up that process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. The next person for that question is Harold Midance. I can't remember how you said you wanted to pronounce it.
If you want to say it, it's okay. It's Midance anyway. It's Spanish.
Okay, Harold, go.
Well, the reason I want to be appointed, it belongs to the board. It's very simple. Get to know how to work, how you guys work. See if anything I can provide to improve the board so the decisions can be made. We all can have an individual thinking, but it all has to be done as a team. So, and I think that I can supply a little bit more of a team mentality and convince the board to do certain things, and they're going to convince me of other things, because whatever we say or do, we don't know how to work. The board works until they're in there. And that's about it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the last person did not show up for that question. So the next question is going to be a 2-minute question. Tell me the difference between being a director of the Housing Mutual Board versus the GRF Board, and how would you like to see the relationship between GRF and the Housing Mutuals change, and how or would you achieve this vision of change? And the people selected for that are, first will be Johan Aaron, John Pearlstone, and Kush Bada, and again, Alan, he's not here. So John Pearlstone, you can go first, and then Johan Aaron. John?
I'm just getting my camera on here.
Okay.
Everybody has to see me. There we go. All right. So this is a really important question, in my opinion, because there's a reason we have the board members voting for GRF board members versus the community. And the way it's been explained in terms of the governing documents is that the GRF board is designated to do a variety of important responsibilities on behalf of the mutual boards. So my personal view on the matter is we work under the guidance and the vision of the mutual boards to fulfill the vision of our community, because we do not report directly to our community. We're elected by mutual boards. So I've found since my 2 years being involved with the board and being treasurer is there's definitional differences people come into the boards with, assuming that it's almost a competition and we're not trying to work together. And when mutual brings up how our plumbing is not currently up to speed and is hurting so many residents, that's not a concern for GRF board members, because they're tasked to worry about recreation and the clubhouses. And I would work extremely hard to build consensus, develop priorities. I think in the end game, the missing link is a clear and understandable strategic plan that goes across our entire community and brings these boards together with an understanding of what the most important priorities are. So we never have to have these sorts of conflicts, because it's understood where the most important dollars are spent that'll help designate budgets, help build 5, 10, 15, 30-year plans. And as I said, when you look at our structure, we're elected, if I'm lucky enough to be elected as GRF board member, it's by the mutual board members. They're representing the community. We have to trust that their judgment is correct. And when we come in there, we need to make sure we have their vision in mind in all the things we do and discuss and implement on behalf of the village, because that's the representatives for the village are the mutual boards. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, John. Okay, next we'll go to Johan Aaron. Do I need to repeat the question? You can just let me know.
Yes, you can, please.
Okay. Tell me the difference between being a director of the Housing Mutual, like Third, United, or the Towers, versus a director on the GRF board. And how would you like to see the relationship between all those boards change? And if so, how would you achieve that vision? You have 2 minutes.
Okay. Being new to the community, only having been here since December, I'm going to be honest, the GRF board, from my understanding, is dealing basically with the community, and the rapport between the two, the directors and the GFR board, I would like to see those two communicate on a better level and assisting one another on the problems that occur in the community as well as in the towers. bringing this about, I think I would be very good at it because of my past experience. I'm a quick learner. I haven't been here long. And based on what I've heard and read so far, those are the things I would do first. Thank you.
Okay. That was ahead of schedule. Good. Next person for that question number 5 was, let's see, we got John, Krish Bada.
Yes, madam. This is a very important part of the structure of our community. John did an excellent job of verbalizing everything. I agree with all that he said. The housing mutuals usually look after all the housing issues of all the units, all the 3 housing, whereas the difference between that and GRF is that GRF mainly manages and looks after all the recreation and related issues. What I would do to create a better communication is to work with all the different housing mutuals and be a conduit of support and getting their help in moving forward with our needs at the GRF level. Some of the issues at the GRF level currently are that we need to work on the sources of income that could benefit our future function. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Again, ahead of schedule. Good. Okay, so that was question number 5. Okay, now I'll go to the next question. Is a 1-minute question. 4 people were selected at random to answer this question. What do you think your biggest contribution would be to GRF? And the 4 people for that question, number 6 on my list, is Sue Stevens and Lenny Ross, James Wang, and Timothy Ayers. We'll start with Sue Stevens. You have 1 minute for that answer.
I would, in bringing a fresh perspective to the board, one of my major goals would be to explore the possibility of having an internal audits function as part of the village structure. Probably it could be accomplished by assembling a group that a study group that could report to the VMS board and with audit experience, and then ultimately develop a set of principles, a vision statement, a proposal, job descriptions, or description. It could start with just one individual. And I think it would address the fact that although every applicant comes in to the board saying that they hope to control costs, and they need to also look at effectiveness, not just efficiency. Are we doing the right things? And I think only a professional internal auditor, someone with Institute of Internal Auditors type certification could do that.
Thank you. Okay, second we have, let's see, number 6, Lenny Ross.
Okay.
You have 1 minute.
Thank you. I think that one of the biggest contributions that I can make is that I have real board experience within our community. I was with United, which is in charge of the United Mutuals, for several years. I was president of United, and I was also treasurer of United as well. And I think the background, my background in finance, and looking out for how we spend money will be my biggest advantage to the board, to GRF. I'll be looking very closely at how we do budgeting, how we do payments for new projects. I want to make sure that the people in our community can afford our community and make sure that they get their dollar's worth of every dollar that they're spending. And I think also my experience in program management will help me work with other directors as we develop new programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, third, we have James Wang. You get 1 minute to answer that question.
Okay, virus, mosquito, earthquake, don't care where do we live. When they come, they hit everybody. So I can contribute to build a nice, solid infrastructure on the board level. And in the meantime, I'm a physician, so I can help the board to navigate through the pandemic. In the long run, we can get ready for the next generation of the retirement community. That 20 years from now, this community will be very, very different. We got to be ready. Okay, bye. That's it.
Thank you. Short and sweet. And then Timothy Ayers, final for that question. What would be your biggest contribution to GRF?
Okay. I've been here 3 years and hope to be here another 20 years. So I think what I bring is I have a solid engineering background. I've handled multiple projects of $20 to $50 million. I understand budgets. I understand schedules. But most of all, I think I bring a variety of experience, a variety of thoughts, just different ways of looking things. I understand the need to get along with people. I understand the need to have people understanding a common theme and everybody kind of marching in the same direction. So I think I can bring those qualities to this job.
Okay, thank you. The next question, I have selected randomly 6 people. It is a 2-minute answer. And I'll read the question first. Do you agree with the focus and the direction that the GRF board is going now? And why or why not? And the 6 lucky people that get to answer that question are Joan Milliman, Gan Mukhopadhyay, Lenny Ross, James Wang, and James Hopkins. So we'll start with Joan Milliman. You get 2 minutes. And do I need to repeat the question?
No, I think I got it.
Okay.
I'm not so sure what direction we're going at this point, but I'll do my best. I think sometimes there's confusion as to whether it's a GRF project or a mutual project. And therefore, GRF gets left somewhere behind. I think it's important that GRF make it very clear what their job is to maintain and renew and, improve the village general facilities, everything that's common ground, anything that is not the mutuals. We are also subject to a document called the trust, and all these things have been put under the trust, and we're responsible for maintaining them and looking after them. So people don't always understand that there's a need for plumbing over in Third, and we haven't paid any attention to it because it's not our job. So I think making clear what the jobs are is really important, and we can work together because I don't think anybody wants to see facilities or amenities go by the wayside. Because why did you come to Laguna Woods besides having a nice place to stay? Lots of people have discovered themselves very shortly after they get here, didn't know they had such talent. And through the 250-some clubs we have, for example, and GRF is responsible for making sure those all run smoothly. So I think it's an important position, and we need to continue to work with that and not against it. Sometimes people get confused as to whose job is what. So I would like to see more collaboration between the mutuals and GRF and understanding that, that's a mutual job. We don't have to do that. GRF is out. well, that belongs to GRF, and they should do that. But we all are responsible financially, so that makes it difficult. I just think we can work more closely either with the officers. I don't want to see boards split in any way, but I'd like to see more collaboration on projects so that we understand who gets the main responsibility.
Thank you, Joan. Well said. The next is Gon Mukhopadhyay.
Yeah, here I am. Well, GRF is responsible for all common areas, capital improvement projects, and see that everything is done right. I am not sure where the emphasis is right now, but I sense a sense of disconnect between the residents and what GRF is doing. I think we need a stronger and proactive outreach program so that the residents know what is going to happen and they're involved and included in the process. So that will be, I think that will be an important step so that GRF activities are well understood, and should be very much along with all mutuals. I live in Third Mutual. I think I'd like to see that there is good coordination between the mutual and the GRF, and overall the outreach program should make all the residents involved in it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, next is John Pearlstone.
Can you repeat the question? I was not on the original list. She said was going to answer this.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you are my sixth person. I have so many numbers in front of me. I will repeat the question. It is a 2-minute answer. Do you agree with the focus and direction that GRF is going right now? Why or why not? You get 2 minutes.
I agree strongly with what I understand the focus and direction that GRF is pursuing right now. Basically, I spent a lot of time talking with the people on the board and communicating. I'm on all the various committees that involve significant purchases, finance, whatever you want to say. And the bottom line is I feel there's a very strong level of commitment to be fiscally responsible at GRF. I feel like they're trying to build a foundation on which to grow. And also, it hasn't been brought out as much as I wish it would, and I'm back to my push for clear strategic planning that all the boards can buy into. But there is an understanding that we have a long-term vision that we need to make sure we're keeping in mind as we decide day-to-day decisions. And when you look at things in a vacuum, for example, the Performing Arts Center, and say, should we move ahead, should we not, without thinking, well, what's the impact of Clubhouse 1? What's going to happen with the community center? How are we going to use our vacant land? What impact does it have on the housing mutuals if we're tying up all that money to do those investments? If those things aren't thought out, how can you make an intelligent decision for the benefit of all residents? And I know the GRF board is aware of that. I think the other thing is that, and again, I feel like there's a strong focus where I hope I can add some value is helping in the prioritization of that focus, because trying to find the areas that would have the biggest impact but the least harm. I thought it was a 2-minute question. You're showing me a sign. It's a 2-minute question. I'm only a minute in.
No, it's been 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Okay, that starts away. Well, I mean, the point continues to be the same, which is I am behind what the GRF board is doing. I'd like to be a part of it. And I feel like in putting together a prioritization where we understand, because it seems we can't get clarity, that no one's saying that the GRF responsibilities aren't important when someone brings up plumbing. It's just simply that if you don't think about plumbing, when you make decisions on how to handle millions and millions of dollars of investments, you're not looking at our village as an entirety. And that's where the consensus building is so critical and so lacking. And that's why I do think the board's heading in the right direction if they continue to build that consensus.
Okay. All right. Just a reminder for everyone, this is when there's 30 seconds left, and the bell or the chime is when you're out of time. So I'll refresh your memory with that. There are still 3 people left for this 2-minute question, and they are Lenny Ross, James Wang, and James Hopkins. So we'll go next to Lenny Ross. 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think that one of the things we need to take a look at is shared costs. And I think as a community, I heard it mentioned before that, as you know, we share the costs of playing golf, pickleball, tennis, and many of the other events that we have with our community members. But maybe we need to it's time to do another survey to find out if the sharing is fairly done, or whether we need to change the charges to some of these events to make it more equitable to our residents. So I think that's one thing that I think should be done. The other thing is that when we think or consider large investments or large expenditures, such as the transfer fee, we need to take a look at the consequences of that action. The transfer fee was recently increased, for those of you who don't know, from $2,500 to $5,000 to everyone that's moving into the association. And as you know, if you've moved into the association within the last several years, you paid $5,000. And that cost is a major cost, and that has had an effect on real estate. It has stifled some of the real estate in the community and has slowed it down. And as we want to maximize the value of our residents and maximize the value of our community, we have to take a real close look at these types of fees before we enact them. And that's all that I'm saying. I'd just like to look at the amount of money we spend very closely, and if we're going to entertain some new fees, we have to really look at the consequences before we enact them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Just in time. Okay, James Wang, number 9. Do you need to repeat the question?
No, that's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So I can have applied a third union, but I decided to apply for GRF. The big difference between the two is GRF involves every resident in the community. Third only involves third. Okay. So I think GRF is in better position to develop the region or the village because it involves everybody. So GRF shall be the region builder. With the region and with consensus agreement, then people can work. Like in the triangle relationship, all the four are on the same line, but you got to look up, look at the top, it's common goal, then everybody look at the goal and get there. Otherwise, if you don't have a common goal on the top, everybody look up their own directions. When the wind blows, everybody fall down. Okay, I'm talking about like pandemic. If we don't have a nice, solid infrastructure, the next pandemic or even the rhino mosquito, Western Nile virus, will destroy the village easily. If we continue to work on argue about these things. So I don't see the conflict. I see human conflict tend to be caused by PPP, the power, pressure, possession. This is not exceptional. So we got to be able to look up, and I think GIF is in good position to take a lead on that one. All right. So otherwise, the process, there are details. GIF is in charge to build a nice culture so everybody will benefit. The process of budget approval probably need to be revised a little bit so you eliminate the conflict. That's what I can say, yeah.
Okay, you still have 30 seconds left, but that's a good answer. Thank you. Next we have James Wang, one more. James Hopkins.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you. Go, 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, John Pearlstone actually stole all of my thunder. We have very similar backgrounds. And I just want to emphasize the value of strategic planning. It just allows us to understand how the present affects our future because we know what our future wants to be. So that's about it in a nutshell. I don't think I don't understand all the focus and strategic nature that's going on right now because I haven't been a part of it. But it's clear that strategic planning is a key focus, I think, for all of Laguna Woods. I don't need the 2 minutes because John took my 2 minutes.
That's okay. Okay, the next question is another 2-minute answer. I have 4 people selected randomly. How do you plan to address, and some of you did, the never-ending rising assessment costs in your position as a director? And how can you use your background education to do this? So it has something to do with a little bit with cost share, but I'm sure you have other ideas we'd like to hear about. It is a 2-minute answer. And I have, going backwards here, James Hopkins to answer that, Juan Chang, Dan Mukatape, and I had one more person. Where'd they go? Okay, I have another person. Oh, he didn't come. 11. That was Alan. Okay, so go ahead, James Hopkins. You go first. We're going to start at the bottom here.
Okay.
You got 3 minutes for this answer.
Great. Again, I'll go back to strategic planning and setting expectations. I think everybody has an expectation of what our assessment fees are going to be, and when something comes out different, there's a surprise. And I'm not sure there ought to be a big surprise unless there's a big situation that comes up as a surprise. So I think setting expectations and the strategic planning model that gets us to that point is very key in it. Just for instance, I hear a lot of people talk about inflation being 2%, and therefore it should only rise 2%. And the inflation in California is about 4%. Minimum wage is going up. Okay, and it's not going up across the country. So there's a lot of things that happen here in California that mitigate, or not mitigate, that exacerbate the problem that we have in our expectations. So nobody wants to pay more, but I think you have to come here with the expectation, just like in any other cost of living. It's going to go up. The question is, are we spending the money wisely, and are we moving forward with understanding what we want our future to be, and what it's going to cost for that future. So I think that's that's what I would do in terms of just set some expectations based on our strategic planning and communication to the residents.
Okay, thank you. I had a schedule, so let me cancel that before it goes off. Okay, next, again, 2 minutes. Dan Mukapadwe. It's a 2-minute answer. How do you plan?
It won't be going up because of the inflation, so we have to see how we control that. The second component of this increase will be from long-term projects that we are going to undertake, and there comes the situation where we need to look at the long-term development projects very carefully, what we need for the community that we live in, and how we can make a better life for them. So there should be some kind of parity between what we want and what we want to spend. So these are the 2 things that we have to control financially, and that is what we need to do. When I get into the board, perhaps I'll look into it, as I have done for billion-dollar projects that I have done in my life, how to optimize that and how to improve the costing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next 3 we have Juan Chang, Kush Buddha. He was the one I was missing. And we already had Gang. So Kush Buddha and Juan Chang. So Juan, why don't you go next? Do you need me to repeat the question?
Yeah, would you repeat the question again?
Okay, it's a 2-minute answer, if you'd like.
Yeah.
How do you plan to address the never-ending rising in assessment costs in your position as a director on the GRF board? 2 minutes.
Yeah. what I found out living here for a long time, one of the most important things, this community, demographics are changing rapidly. The last 7, 8 years, I find the young, much younger, and have a good professional background that people are moving in. They are excited about the future of this community. Also, they are really encouraging certain the things to be improved or created. I think it is a very important aspect of what this community is changing. So what really I'd like to do is that just like I did was what we call the quality of the community or life in this Laguna Woods Village, to find out what really residents want and what residents are thinking about the future or the problems we have. So the first thing I think that I immediately like to do is I'd like to have a great idea of the demographic and the psychographics of the total community. I found a lot of things in my survey in 7 years ago, which is published, but not many people are looking at it. But it has a lot of interesting questions we have for the future. So all I'd like to do is have a good study, create the database for the GRF or any other board can look at it and make a decision based upon those data instead of their instinct. I think that's what I like to do. I can make a good contribution to that, creating the data. Thank you.
Thank you. Last is Kush. Do I need to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
How do you address the ever-rising assessment costs in your position as a GRF director? 2 minutes.
Thank you. Our assessments are directly the income of the GRF, and which I have mentioned several times in my 2 years as a director on the third, is that we keep our assessments and we want to control our assessments, but we still want to have more amenities and spend more money. The only way we can spend money is by increasing our assessment. So on thinking and researching, I found that only if we find new sources of income, creating a source of income for GRF, is when we will be able to spend more money. Or we have to do the next best thing, is to cut our expenses and controlling them. So being a business owner for a long, long time in my life and running restaurants and hotels, the first thing that we did when we were running short or we had a situation like we are going through right now, where restaurants are facing not having customers walking in and spending money, is you cut your costs. And the first thing what people did was to cut their employees off. So we are not doing that. We're not cutting our employees, and that's not what I'm suggesting. But what I'm suggesting is that we need to improve our income sources and creating new ones. We have capability to do that. I have some ideas which I would be ready to share when we get into a strategy planning situation. And this is what I've been doing all my life, and I've been successfully doing it for several years. I've now retired here, and I can help in this. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So the next question is just a 1 minute answer. If you are elected, are you open and amenable to listening to advice or recommendations from veteran directors that have been on boards for 8 or more years of experience with the staff, the governing process, and is overall respected by the community and the other CMs. I've selected 3 people to answer that question. I've got Johan Aaron, Harold Mydens, and Timothy Ayers. So let's start with Johan Aaron.
Excellent question. I definitely would be open to working with individuals that have been on the board with all of this years of experience that they have. Coming in as a new individual, one of the younger individuals, to the village is a learning experience for me, and I'm open and a quick study to learn more things. As an educator for 46 years, I felt at a certain time in my career that young people should come in, we work together, share new, innovative ideas, as well as learn the things that I have experienced as an educator, and put those 2 items together. You definitely need the new individuals coming in on the board that do not have the experience to learn from the individuals that have done such a great job in these years that this village has been open. So definitely, that's a positive and a straight yes. I'm open for that. And I commend the individuals that are on the board now for the job that they've done so far and what I've seen so far. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next 2 that I have for that is, okay, it's going to be Timothy Ayers, and then did I mention Wong Chang? I don't remember if I remember to mention you. So Timothy
Harold Middens
and Harold Mydens. Okay, so let's go next to, we can do Harold next. He's up on the 2021 term. Harold, are you ready for that question? Do you want me to repeat it?
No, that's okay. That's a very short question. Absolutely, yes.
Just 1 minute.
Yeah. Being a real estate pro for a lot of years, you have to understand that you listen a lot and you learn a lot. My grandfather used to say that the devil knows more because he's old, not because he's the devil. So you have to listen to the people to understand what their points of views are, and then you make your own decision. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, short and sweet. I like that. Okay. Okay, next I have Timothy Ayers.
Sure. Okay. Sure, I think that's the first place you'd start anyway, would be understanding the issues the old board had. The issues aren't going to go away. You might as well understand their thinking, and before you move off in a new direction, you better understand the thinking and the issues that got you to where you are. So I pretty much agree with everybody else that they'd be a valuable resource and would be a logical starting point.
Okay, thank you. We have Harold. Did you speak? Did I get you already?
I'm the devil. I'm the devil one.
Oh, yeah, you're the devil. Okay. Okay, I have, and Timothy just spoke, so Wong Chang, your turn. And this is, again, are you amenable to listen to advice and recommendations from veteran directors with 8 or more years of experience?
Oh, I can't hear it too well. Could you just say it slowly?
Repeat it again. Okay. If you are elected, are you open and amiable to listening to advice or recommendations from veteran directors that have served at least 8 years or more on the boards, have experience with staff and the governing process, and is overall respected by the rest of the CMs or corporate members.
Yeah.
So are you in your book with them?
Yeah, I think that I'll be okay. With the recommendation, what you're asking for, I have no problem with it. I think it's also, I don't see why people staying on the board so long and to do the same thing again and again. I just don't understand, particularly from the position of the GRF, that they are not really making any effort to communicate with the mutual boards like the Third and the United. I think that's a quite interesting situation I watched the last few years. I don't have any problem with that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, the last question is strictly for Joseph Becker, Jeffrey Carter, Joan Milliman, and Sue Stevens. Considering you'll have less than 4 months or 10 weeks to make a difference, what do you hope to contribute or change in only 10 weeks that will make that difference? So going first, we can have Joseph Becker.
I think, yeah, my voice is on, right? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you, and it's a one minute answer.
I'm not sure why my camera won't turn on, but anyway, I agree. It's only a few months, and I guess mostly I wasn't sure that I was necessarily going to be able to contribute to the GRF because I'm a relatively new member. I guess some of the things that I would like to at least get started is somehow I feel like I don't understand very much what issues get presented at GRF, and I agree I could, make a big effort as just a member of the community to go to the meetings and all that, but somehow outside of reading the Globe, we don't really know too much about what the issues are and what the choices being made and why those choices come about. So perhaps I can bring some fresh eyes to the question of what people are asking in the community and how we can communicate better to the community. And maybe because I write for a living, I can provide some kind of insight as to how to communicate with the public a little more frequently or more better. Anyway, that would be my goal, is learn about the GRF and hopefully add a little bit to the communication. Thank you.
Okay, just on time. Thank you, Joseph. Jeffrey Carter, same question. What changes would you make in this 4 months?
Well, some of the changes I'd like to see are, I've been, I guess, having a real estate background. I just look at what's going on here as far as sales, lack of sales. You're talking about the $5,000 fee that we found out late in the process. So I think that expenses need to be looked at. I think that most everybody here has been talking about the big projects. I think a lot of places where business that I've been in the past, I've always looked at the small things because on a budget, big things are always figured in. It's the little things that kill you. And I'd like to see much better communication between the HOA and the city, and then the inspectors and the city inspectors, because there's not a lot of communication, and that has created a problem for me that I think would be easily remedied. So if it will only be in a short period of time, I think that would be a couple areas that would make a big impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Joan Milliman, you're next for that question. Do I need to repeat it?
No, I've got it.
Okay.
I think since I've had quite a bit of experience with GRF, and I know how things work, so I can, with my writing ability and research ability, help people understand what the board is trying to do and the accomplishments that we're making, and involve people through collaboration and just by being congenial as we work out our solutions to cost-effective, strategies in the future. So I really feel that my communication skills will be the biggest forte from going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Last we have for that question, Sue Stevens.
Hi. I think in a short number of months, there's not an opportunity to do everything. So I think you got to drill down on one thing. And one thing I have a lot of experience in with 25 years of management is budgets, controlling budgets, understanding budgets. And there are a few items on the budget that really are alarming. There are unreasonable seeming increases in things like insurance. So I think I would concentrate on that, try and bring my expertise to that function, that area. And then, of course, I hope it's not just a few months. I hope that after the few months of experience, I can go on and serve longer. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Okay, I have a question. Harold Midens, did you answer the number 13? Someone in the chat box says, I missed you on number 13. If you were elected, would you be amiable to working with veteran directors? Didn't you answer that?
I remember the demo. That's me.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know why someone in the chat box is saying that missed you. It said it twice. Okay, I didn't think we missed you. Okay, so now for the last half hour, I'd like to open it up to people in the chat box, and the only one that shows right now is Cash Akbar. So if you have a question that has not been asked yet, you could make it a 1-minute question, and we'll try to get through everybody. Otherwise, just pick the people you want to ask, but it still should only be a 1-minute answer. And Cash, do you have a question already?
Yes, I do. I basically want to ask two candidates that are now on third. Why are they trying to move into GRF? Why are they abandoning where they are and moving to other side of the field? I mean, in a sense. But I think they still have a lot to contribute to where they are at the present time. Why are they abandoning the ship?
Okay, so John Pearlstone and Kush. Yeah, okay, so John Pearlstone, you go first and answer that question.
Okay, thank you. I can consider running for GRF in the last election and put it off to kind of further some projects I was working on at third. I've brought forth 4 different projects that each will have potential for $1 million plus on our budget per year. Most notably, cable, internet, and phones, which took a lot of effort, being that I wasn't on GRF to get the interest, but we have hired the consultant. We are working on that. So I believe that the opportunity presented itself and that these positions opened up. Third Mutual is operating as efficiently as it possibly can be, with the only exception I'm aware of being the insurance, which I can still say actively involved with. And I feel there's a huge void in a number of areas at GRF that I can fill, most notably a treasurer, and really being able to having great experience in doing strategic planning, bringing an overview and a way to get it done that will be agreeable and positive to all the boards that they'll want to participate. So that was my motive in moving forward now.
Thank you, John. Good answer. Okay, Kush, can you answer the same question for Cash?
Cash, you put me on the spot. I always wanted to be on the GRF board from the beginning, but it was only because I was asked by some previous board members to come and assist with some of the stuff that they wanted me to handle. I have already accomplished some of them, and now I know the recreation items that GRF provides is something which is closer to my heart, and I can work better with that because of my past experience and my knowledge. I feel that I will be a big asset to the GRF and be able to accomplish many things over there. There is going to be no void in the third because all my fellow board members at the third are very capable, and we have a good working relationship. And if they have questions, they can always reach me. I'm only a phone call away. I still live here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm only going to have time for one more 1-minute question from Doug Gibson. Only pick 2 people, because immediately following that, we need 30 minutes for the CMs to get their ballots over to the community center to be counted. So, Doug, if you have a question, pick 2 people.
Can I make it to make a yes or no to everybody that's in the application?
Okay. We can do that if it's a yes or no answer.
Yes,
so,
just quickly.
Okay.
The main question yesterday was, or there was a big board of directors meeting yesterday on the GRF budget. And I'd just like to know, other than the current board members, how many of the rest of you actually were aware of that budget process and 2 attended? Maybe that's 2 questions. Let's just say, did you happen to see any of the budget thing yesterday, other than the 2 existing board members? Thank you.
Okay, first answer that. Joseph Becker, can you answer that question?
I did not.
You did not see it. And were you aware that we had that budget process?
I was not.
Okay, thank you. Jeffrey Carter, were you aware we had that budget process, and did you watch it?
No.
Joan Milliman, I know you answered, but go ahead. Hello, Joan, can you hear me?
No, and no. I was not aware.
Okay. Sue Stevens?
Yes.
You did. I thought I saw you. Okay, Johan Aaron? Did you watch the budget process, and were you aware that is our process every year?
Yes, I saw part of it, but most of the time I was at a doctor's appointment, so I missed the majority.
Okay. Harold Mydens? Were you aware of our budget process? No?
No.
And no. Okay. Gon? Same question. Were you aware of the budget process, and did you get to watch it or participate on virtual?
I did not.
Okay. And John Pearlstone, we know your answer, but go ahead and answer.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. That's okay. And Lenny Ross? You can't hear you, Lenny. Hit your mic. There you go.
I'm aware of the process, but I did not participate.
Okay, thank you. James Wang, did you watch the budget process? I can't hear you yet.
I did not, yeah.
Did not. Okay. Timothy Ayers?
I did not watch it, and I was not aware of it.
Okay. Kush, I should know your answer, but answer for yourself.
Yes and yes.
Okay, that's right. Wong Chang?
No, I did not watch.
Okay. James
I know
Hopkins?
the process.
You do know there was a process, you just did not watch it, okay?
I did watch. Yep.
Did not watch, okay. And James Hopkins, last one.
Now, I watched the presentation on Monday or Tuesday, but not yesterday.
Okay, so you did get part of it. Okay, great. I want to thank all of you for participating. You did a wonderful job. I wish we had more time for more questions, but it's important now because the voters only have 30 minutes to get over to the community center and drop their ballots off. And I hope you all enjoyed this time. I wish we couldn't ask more questions, but there were quite a few of you. And Bunny, I'm going to return this portion of the meeting back to you for the closure and entertain a motion, explain the voting process. Number 6 on the agenda. Is Bunny here? Bunny, can she hear me? Do you want me to do that? I can't hear you, Bunny.
This is Catherine.
Because of time. Okay,
This is
an explanation of the voting procedures. The purpose of this corporate meeting members' vote was to fill 4 vacancies of the Golden Rain Foundation Board. There was one term to conclude for 2020, 2 seats for 2021, and there was 1 seat that ends in 2022 of November. So Bunny is looking to entertain a motion to commence balloting. Corporate members then will have the 30 minutes to complete and return the ballot to the Inspector of Elections in front of the Community Center. Do I hear a motion to commence balloting?
I make a motion.
Thank you, Yvonne. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Juanita. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Okay. If there's no objections, voting will commence, and we will recess until the ballots are prepared. So give us at least 30 minutes, and then you can sign back in to the same link. Okay. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you in 30 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Grant?
Why my head is cut off? I don't know. It was before out of my screen, but it is getting out of the screen.
Okay. Grant, can you hear me?
Me?
Grant.
Oh.
No, not Dan.
Okay.
Yes, VMS. Okay, it's on, but he's not hearing me.
Honey, it looks like Yvonne's running the meeting.
It does?
No, I'm not. I am not, Bunny. I'm just...
Okay. So, Grant, what I'm asking...
President Carpenter, we are still in the process of calculating.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Thank you.
Okay, how soon do you... And what I'm asking is, will Catherine be here? Will she join this meeting?
Bunny, I've been here the whole time. Can you hear me, Bunny?
Yes, yes.
I've been here. So we're calculating right now, okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We should have some music playing, right?
Yeah. That would be good.
I can say I could sing.
Yeah.
I could make a brief announcement, since I think everybody else was here. Even if you do not get a seat today, in November, we will have 4 vacancies for people ending their 3-year term. So there's always another opportunity to get on the board if you didn't make it today. And those will all be 3-year terms in November. So there's 4 seats coming in November for 3-year terms. So I wanted to mention that. So.
And I want to add to what Judith is saying is the fact that those who are interested that didn't get nominated, please join us in our committees, because it helps the person to get familiar with our governing documents and basically what GRF does.
I also want to announce that we will be having 4 openings in United in
earlier than GRF, and if you're living in United, we can use some of your help on our board as well.
Slow network connection.
I'd like to say one thing too. I heard a lot of very, very good answers. So I'm pleased with the all of the people that came forward, and I do hope that you'll join another board if you don't make it this time.
It is flashing on my computer. It is flashing slow network connection.
And those of you who are not aware, we do have technical problems often. So
yeah,
that's why you saw Judith jump in, because my phone was disconnected, and and sometimes we have to jump in for each other because we get cut off. Sometimes it's because of our connections at home, but other times it's just connections with GoToMeeting that causes interruptions in the meetings. But we are learning to deal with it. It's not fun.
I think we forgot to ask that question. How many people have patience and are very flexible with this process of, doing the virtual meetings? We never even asked that question, because we will be doing this for probably 6 more months minimum.
Yeah.
Okay, how we do it, Grant?
We just now got all the ballots, and now we're tabulating them.
Okay, so you expect about 5 more minutes?
We need at least 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yes,
okay,
please.
Should we adjourn?
No, you can stay on the line, but you could, if you need to use the restroom, go ahead, and we'll be ready in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
$10. Okay. 47. 1:45.
One of the questions, if I thought we had time, I was going to ask is how many people were knowledgeable in Robert's rules. And that question was not very popular with the board, so we didn't ask it. But I'm hoping that those that have not experienced Robert's rules talking to myself. I guess we had good canvassing because we haven't had this many candidates at once in many years.
This is Cheryl, and we just need 5 more minutes and we'll be done.
I wasn't pleased with the breakdowns. There were people that I wished were in other categories.
Whoa, that's a long time to be locked up.
Okay, we're
They didn't
almost
let women
ready.
go in those.
We're almost ready to put the results up on the screen.
Okay.
So let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, so she can call the meeting to order officially. I'd
Right.
appreciate it. So if you want to call the meeting to order now, then we'll have time to entertain a motion to cease the balloting. I don't know if Catherine's supposed to call for that? Or if you do.
It says on the agenda that Catherine called for that.
Okay.
This is an exciting moment.
Have we reconvened the meeting? Have we actually reconvened the meeting?
No, not yet.
Okay.
This is how it was in the military. A lot of hurry up and wait. A lot of ramp time.
What branch are you in, Judith?
Air Force, medical air evacuation.
Oh, that's too bad. The Air Force never won a war. That's what we used to say in the Marine Corps. Sorry about that. That was the Army Air Corps. No, thank you for your service, Judith. I'm just giving you a hard time. So do you and Major C talk about old times and all?
Who are you speaking to, Bunny?
I'm sorry, no, Judith. You talk to Major Parsons.
Hello, all. We're ready to start.
Okay.
I need to entertain a motion to cease balloting.
I'll move to cease balloting. Judith Trump.
We need to reconvene the meeting first.
Was that Judith?
Yes.
Okay.
Bunny needs to reconvene the meeting. Okay.
Okay, I need to reconvene the corporate meeting. So at 2:01, we reconvene the corporate meeting. So Catherine, please entertain a motion to cease the balloting.
We'd like to entertain a motion to cease balloting.
You did that.
I'll make the motion.
Yeah, okay.
Seconded.
Who was it seconded by?
Cash.
Did you get that?
Cash.
She said she recognized Cash.
Cash.
Okay. Is
Okay.
there any of opposition?
What are they saying?
Are we ready to?
We're ready to.
See the counting and tabulation of votes.
Yes, we are. We're going to put it up on the screen right now. And then I'm going to read the winners. Let me know when it's up.
You mean the victims?
Okay? For the 2020 term, Sue Steffens. For the 2021 term, Gon Muhapada. Sorry about that. And John Pearlstone. For the 2022 term, James Hopkins.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations, Jay.
Congratulations, everybody. Thanks. For those people that are not fortunate at this time, we still have more opportunities coming up the next election. So don't give up and continue to attend meetings and give us demonstrate how well you can fit in the measures.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
I want to thank everybody, and one of the things that I want to say is that for those that are new, we'll put together a notebook which will be for director training, and that will help you. Due to the pandemic, I don't know how quickly that will be done, but I'll talk to staff and see if we can get something, by the August 4th meeting, have it sent out to you. So that it contains our bylaws, some of the resolutions, board rules, all the information that you would need that will help you get started with our GRF board. So I want to congratulate you.
Again, so we can.
Okay, so it's not on the agenda, but does anyone want to make any comments?
I would like to see the count again, so we can write down who's where.
Can you put the count back up?
Okay.
I would just like to thank board members for allowing me this opportunity to partake of this wonderful event. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We have to anticipate, we anticipate.
See you next
you to not give up.
Nominations for the boards can start next week, July 31st.
Bonnie, I have a comment. What's the effective date of their seating? Is it today?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a meeting tomorrow morning.
That's what I was going to say. Make sure that they get the link, please, staff, and so that they can participate in the council election.
We'll make sure it gets to them.
Honey, do you want me to send them a list of the questions we decided on for the lawyers?
No, Siobhan is going to do that. It's going to be a complete package, that will have the questions. And
we'll have it. Okay.
Yeah, and I have a schedule. Everything will be in it.
Okay, great.
Okay. So are you going to be able to send us this information, or do we need to write it down? Can we get a copy of this, of the count, just for our records? Okay,
Yes.
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 Send it to me. I'll have it so if anybody wants it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. And we'll be reaching out to some of these people to see if they want to be on any of our committees.
Oh yeah, reach out, Bunny.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Meeting adjourned officially.
Thank you. 2:06 I have for my minutes. Okay, thank you.